All right, I got something stupid today. I am using some Yoke of Suffering with this little dagger boy that all damage can poison. Now, I want all damage to poison because I have Ice Bite support with 14 Frenzy charges. That is a flat 102 to 153 added cold damage and 23 to 34 added cold damage per Frenzy charge. And I have 14 Frenzy charges. So that's going to be pretty close to the top end of 500 added cold damage. It's going to be like 3 to 450 or something like that. That is a lot of added cold damage, and I want that cold damage to poison. We can go here and we can look at my cold damage, and it greatly supersedes my physical damage. And if we look at my dagger, my dagger is all physical damage. There is no cold damage on this dagger. So the cold damage is far stronger than the dagger damage. I've been trying to roll one of these daggers in an excellent fashion, and this is the best I've been able to get out of about 3 weeks. And I'm not spending all 3 weeks rolling. Whenever I go get lunch or something, I'll roll the daggers trying to get something good, and this is the best I've gotten. There's not a lot of good daggers to buy that are like this. You can get the triple ailment ones, but I wanted to start as physical because I needed to start as physical to apply my bleed, because the goal is not really a functional build. The goal is to be able to hit with bleed, ignite, chill, shock, and poison, and each one of them being very effective. Right now, my ignites are not very effective and my bleeds are not very effective, so I'm missing 2 of them. I would need this to be a perfect physical roll, maybe with something to do more bleed damage on it, in order for this to be even remotely close to hitting all of the goals I want. But it is close, it is interesting, and it is kind of strong. If you got a real builder to build this out, they would be able to build it pretty good. And I'm going to go over some of the build, some of the tech. Obviously, Yoke of Suffering is what I'm building around. This does enemies take 10% increased damage for each ailment you have inflicted on them. I'm going to be inflicting 5. So this is going to be 50% more damage. This is a 50% more damage amulet with 3 individual resistances, attributes, and your elemental damage can shock. The only real downside is the reduced duration of ailments on enemies. I'm offsetting that by using Awaken Unbound ailments. I don't know if it's the right choice, if it's the strongest out of the gem selection, but I do want that to offset it. And my bleed chance is pretty low. I can't remember if you instantly bleed on crit. I don't think you do. I think you need bleed chance. So my bleed chance is pretty low. It's like 10%, but my attack speed is ridiculous with this build, and the attack speed makes it feel really good to play. I'm at 20 attacks per second. I'm going to be pairing that with these very expensive, I've had them forever, rings for +1 to max frenzy, +1 to max frenzy. They're not rolled perfectly, but they're rolled good enough. And then I have this shield, which I re-roll many times for whatever purposes I need. And for now, I need strength and ailment avoidance. So I get 33% chance to avoid ailments. And also the fire and lightning damage is kind of nice to add on there, just so I have a little bit more of those 2 damage types, since I'm mostly cold, and I want those to be kind of useful. My helmet's pretty lit. The boots are very basic, just an 8% spell suppress on there. I don't think that's max. I'm using this belt because I'm using these boots, and this belt and these boots allows me to get 14 affliction charges and 14 frenzy charges. This is the boon of the build. This is what makes it work. The affliction charges grant 8% more damage with ailments and 8% more effect of non-damaging ailments per affliction charge, which is going to be 14. That is a lot of damage with ailments. And if we look at my skill tree, I'm not really grabbing any ailments. I'm grabbing a little bit here, but that's mostly because I want the increased duration. This is pretty strong for the build because of polymath. Right? This gives me 15% increased duration and 15% increased duration of ailments. This is just pretty good, and I like it a lot. If I wanted to do more defensive, I go to 10% less damage taken, which is also pretty good. Less damage taken over time, because there's not a lot of things to mitigate damage over time. Most people don't take those, but I happen to like those bottom 2 a lot, and anytime I can incorporate them, I do, especially if I'm going to get a polymath bonus. Now, the Trickster's starting area is really strong for one-handers that use ailments. This guy is a really powerful node. 8% increased attack speed and 30% increased damage with ailments, and 20% increased damage with one-handed weapons. So you get 30% increased damage with ailments, and then 20% increased damage with attacks, plus 8% increased attack speed. It's actually a really strong node. And then obviously I want the damage over time, more for the memes than the damage, but I want to get over here for the added physical and the added chaos. That's going to be really, really strong because I'm using both of those ailments. And as I said, I have a low chance to bleed. I'm getting 5% here, and I believe I'm getting 5% here. Yeah, I have 10% chance to bleed from these two little nodes there. Nothing else really I'm taking is special. I'm grabbing some daggers. Oh, I no longer need that. I switched elusive. I was going to try elusive, but I didn't really like elusive. So now we can just do more damage. We're grabbing only one poison node, and that's mostly because my brutal restraint is giving it 20% increased poison damage. I'm grabbing this guy just so I have non-vault strike another enemy, and I have this guy anointed, and that is basically the setup. I'm running Sublime Vision because I like Sublime Vision. It gives me another frenzy charge, and all three of these heralds are, I'm only using two. Herald of Ash and Herald of Agony both work very well together with this build. Herald of Ash is going to give me more burning damage for my ignites because I want my ignites to be useful. Now, in terms of making this a functional build, you'll probably want to drop that out for Herald of Purity or Herald of Ice or maybe even Arctic Armor. There's a lot of different options you can use that aren't auras that you can pair with this guy right here. And I think this is a really strong node, and it keeps going up in price, so I think more and more people are agreeing with me. That and or the inflation is so bad. Oh, no, it's not that expensive. There's really not a lot out there, is there? They're probably not selling it, maybe? I can't believe there's only two. I must be having a node marked somewhere. Well, I have the name, so I can just get rid of all of this. There we go. There we go. It's not so... Oh, never mind. It's showing them all. I did need that filter, in fact. Wow, there's only two for sale. Holy cow. I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing. I don't know where you get these from, but there's only two for sale. So if you're going to try to build this, maybe build around not using that because it might not even be available. Sorry, took a long time to just be flabbergasted that there was only two of those for sale on the whole market. It's a basic frenzy build. You can apply this to anything, and I just decided to go with a little bit of poison. And we'll run a little bit of content. We'll start with that guy. My resistances are not great, so I have this guy running at all times. He can stay up all times because I'm using a few things, right? He just keeps popping, keeps my resistances up to scuff, and on top of that, it has the reduced effect of shock on the flask, which I find is a really effective way of synergizing with this. So that reduced effect of shock is going to apply to everything, and it's really powerful. So it's a pretty good flask. It's not rolled perfect. That reduced effect of shock is only a tier 3, but I was able to get a tier 1 on the chance to gain flash charges when you deal a critical strike. I also have that here, which I no longer need. Kabloop. I mean, it'd just be a lot more chance to gain a flash charge, but I think I would rather have recover 4% of life when I use a flask because I don't have any life regeneration. Bump, bump. And I think it's pretty close to a 50-50 split between dot and regular. And I don't know very many builds that do a 50-50 split between dot damage and regular damage. Usually it's all dot or all regular. And this build probably would be a lot stronger if I stopped, being a douche and actually built it for DPS instead of memology. But I'm all about that memology. I feel that by trying to do memes, I learn a lot about what not to do. I think if you watch my videos, it'll be a good way to learn what not to do. Like if you're trying to figure out how to play this game, and you want to start by figuring out how to not play this game, just pop on over. I'll show you what to not do. I will show you what to not do over and over again. That is my specialty. I'm like that cautionary tale. I'm the antidote to survivorship bias. The build feels really fun to play, actually. And I really hate Whirling Blades because it's a little hard to control. But whenever you get a good funk going with Whirling Blades, it's like zipping around, zip, zip, zip. Oh, it's pretty nice. It's pretty damn nice. And because you have the really fast attack speed, sometimes you can do like you hold the right trigger and you can walk forward and it'll like target someone once they get in range. And it's just pretty mindless. It's pretty great. It doesn't feel as good as the bow variant of this build, which is what I was using before. But with a very weak dagger, you can apply some pretty serious damage. You can apply some pretty serious... Yeah, that's a pretty good roll. That's a pretty damn good roll. Alright, now let's run a regular map. Now, I am not very good at this build yet. I just set it up and just started playing it like yesterday, and I've been working a lot, so I can play a lot. So I'm a little wonky. I don't quite Whirling Blades as much as I should. I also didn't talk about the gloves. The gloves are Snakebite, and Snakebite are really strong with the combination of the boots. So the boots give me permanent frenzy charges at 14, and the gloves give me 60% chance to poison. And with this particular build, I don't really want to add a lot of chance to poison, and I don't really want to go in the tree to get the chance to poison. So almost my entire chance to poison is coming from Herald of Agony and the gloves. But on top of that, the gloves add a really nice 5% damage multiplier for Frenzy Charge. Like I said, I have 14, so my multiplier is taken care of by that. You could squeeze in Nightblade and use Nightblade support, but because I'm not going pure dot, that doesn't work as well. If I was going pure dot and then used Agony of something, Perfect Agony, that would be the better option. Use Nightblade. And I just really like the concept of Nightblade. It's pretty rad. OP attack. I think this is the fastest attack speed I've ever had. I've never gotten above 20. Usually I'm well under 10. And I get the appeal of fast attack speed. This feels really cool to just hit this quickly. Let's turn up the sound effects a little bit. So you can hear the hits. They're coming in. They're coming in hard. Remember I was saying I'm not very good, so I was just kind of dicking around, killing those like 1 or 2 enemies. I kept playing that node where you have to kill all the enemies except for 50, and then the bosses get whiffed. So I kind of learned a very negative play style of just going around and hunting down each individual enemy. Really slowed down my mapping. let some dot damage happen. Just to show that the dot damage is happening. That I am dotting. I am dotting. Dotting hard. Now the downside of not using the body armor is just drop back there. The movement speed because of the boots. The boots got a nerf to offset the major buff that they got. So they lost their 30% movement speed, so it's pretty slow. But I feel with this build, this is the best body armor. You can get a +1 Dahlia's, you throw your Frenzy in there. Well, okay, let's check out regular Frenzy. We are at 7% more attack speed per Frenzy, and again, I have 14, and 7% more attack damage. You put this, do it for dramatic effect, let's throw out the enhance. You throw it in just the Dahlia's, that goes up 3%. Now you'd think 3% more attack damage and 3% more attack speed, not really that big of a deal. However, you multiply that by 14, it's quite a lot. It's a lot more attack speed and a lot more attack damage that actually makes Frenzy hit pretty hard. Also, very fast, despite its low effectiveness. Now, I've never really liked Frenzy, because I've only played Frenzy at about the 9 range, and I never really pumped up the Enhance. But if you pump up the Enhance, the quality, and get a lot of Frenzy charges, it really becomes kind of a beast. So let's throw the Enhance in there. We're at 14%. Let's just do easy maths, and let's say I got 15 endurance charges, right? You add the 0 for 10, and you're looking at over 200%. You're looking at some crazy numbers. I'm trying to be cool and do the math in my head while talking, and I'm too fucking old for that shit. So let's just do the math. 14 times, is that 14? Let me reread that. We have 14 times 14. So 196% more. I mean, I said 200, that's pretty close. 196% more attack damage per Frenzy charge. 196 more attack speed for Frenzy charge. That's pretty juicy. Now, for a while, I wasn't quite sure Enhance was going to be Mr. Best in slot, right? I wasn't positive that Enhance was going to be best in slot, because you're really giving up a lot of gems you can do here. You can just do a straight up awakened melee physical damage, which I'm pretty sure applies to bleeds, ignites, and poisons. And instead of this, and you'd probably think you're doing more damage, but this guy's giving me 4% more per endurance frenzy charge. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna hit that over and over. Let's drop it for 10 and see if anyone wants it. Now let's run another map. I really like running Drox. Drox does a good job of showing damages because he's so thick and he goes in his little bubs. Now I can go into POB with this, which I might at the end of the video, but I don't really play dot builds, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to pop it right. I don't play a lot of POB either. I like POE better than POB. But then around POB is great, it's just gameplay is kind of lame. Not a lot of loot. Here, all the fire pops are pretty cool. They're tiny, little baby pops. But it's nice to have some kind of pop. You want that dirty pop that doesn't stop. Damn, I undersold that. can't believe how cheap it is. She's like, oh my god, it's so cheap. Why would he sell it this cheap? See, stay sane. I told you, he thinks I'm crazy. I was playing with really high movement speed because I had the body armor that increases movement speed for Quincy charge, and I no longer have that, and it's kind of messing with me a little bit. I'm not very good at dashing around like a pro. Like, pay attention to some of these shots. I am shocking so thick. So thick. Shock on that guy. That is a lot of shock. %46 shock on a Drox. 46% shock on a Drox. Only 16% while he bubbled up. I didn't even look at the chill. I think the chill was a lot too. This will be my like second time fighting this guy. I just switched back over to red buff. Let's see, can I? Crit's pretty high. Frenzy power. That should be fine, right? I don't have any regeneration, so that ignite might be a problem. Fuck it. I should have enough damage that even if that ignite is a problem, I can wreck it. Only a 13% shock on this guy. I thought he was doing his big bomb and I tried to run away. Those circles are a fucking problem. I can't see them at all, like ever, and I don't know when I'm standing on them until I'm already dead. They are a fucking problem. Okay, yeah, I'm milking the shit out of this guy. But I'm not sure I could survive this. Nope. Nope. I didn't even survive one wave. I died on the second wave. That's funny. That's funny. I'm bad. In the worst kind of way. These things are a problem. I hate them so much. They kind of look like really nasty buttholes too. They really need to get rid of them on my request. Well, that was easy. Not deathless, because I'm a loser. Is that all the content I was planning on doing? That is all the content. I mean, I'll do a delve. A double delve. Divvy delve. Double down, double delve. Double down, double delve. Ooh, we got some chambers we gotta go into. Depth 457. Double down, double dip, double down. Cart can't keep up. Let's go, Cart. This ain't no Mario. Cool charts, bro. after this song. I think that's the new goal. I'll get right on that. Oh, that's fucking music. That is definitely fucking music. You'll notice I have Vol Ancestral Worship. I never use it. Ever. I should. It's a big damage bonus, but I just don't. There's so much hassle to hit that one button. It's just not needed. Maybe 2 weeks ago. But I do think they turned all the money printers off. I don't really pay attention to any of the pass notes as they come out lately because I've been so damn busy. So I don't really know what the hell they done, but I haven't seen my divines dropping randomly in the maps anymore. It's sad. I got a ridiculous amount of divines from that. Oh, I died. How rude. How boring. How small. Alright, that is the build. It's kind of cool. I definitely recommend you doing your own thing. You're figuring out your own little special sauce with this kind of a build. But the Dahlias, here's what you need. Here's what you need. You need the Dahlias with the +1, right? Then you need the Frenzy, and you need the Enhance. And all of those are pretty pricey. Let's price them out for you. Dahlias +1. 31 Divaroonies. Ay caramba, I did not pay that much for it. I got that a long time ago. Alright, now let's check the Enhanced support. Enhance, oh, that's still a Dahlias. Enhanced support level 4. Is it really none on the market? Oh, there's 29. That's not so bad. We're looking at 8. We're looking at 8. If you want to get wild, you can do the Awaken, right? That's if you want to get wild. If you want to get buck wild. Get this one at a level 4. Woo! Joey, that is pricey. This is what I had last league. I should have bought these a long time ago and leveled them up. Oh, I made a huge currency mistake because I knew this was going to be hot. Because last league was like the transfigured gems, and then everyone got to see the transfigured gems. And then this league is like the first league where after the big creators made all their transfigured gem shit. And that's why this guy is skyrocketing. And also it's just really hard to get this gem, and it's really hard to get it to level 5. Now, this is a profit opportunity for some people out there. Some bots. So though you get that, you get the Dahlias, you get the Frenzy, you get the Enhance, you get the Yoke. I don't think the Yoke is expensive at all. Mine's pretty good. Mine's pretty good. It's not perfect. It needs some fire, and that's about it. Right? All it needs is a little more fire res, and then it's perfect. This is a really good one. So let's see what this really good one is priced. 20. We don't want that. Keep this at 10. Damn. I think a creator. Oh my god. Yeah, a creator must be using this or something. Or the inflation is that bad, because I got mine for under. Mine was like chaos when I bought this a long time ago. That bad boy has shot the price. If you want one good res. What is the 1 under perfect? 1 under perfect is pretty cheap, but the perfect is the. Alright. So you're gonna want your Yoke, you're gonna want your Dahlias, and then you're gonna want your Snakebite with the +1 to France. Now Snakebite is kind of optional, depending on how you want to build it, but there's just so much value here. I don't see why you wouldn't want to use this Snaky Yakey. This is a ton of value. You're probably gonna want to use your Snaky Yakey. And then the belt. The belt's kind of optional, depending on how you want to build around it. But if you're going to be using the belt and these boots, you want the belt. But you can drop this belt for one of these, right? If you're going full fizz, you can drop it for one of these guys. Oh no, it's just attack damage. No, it's physical attack damage. Either way, this is probably pretty damn strong for this build. Let's take a look. We're at 1.1. Wait. Okay, it's not good at all. Oh, I'm losing a frenzy charge with it. Okay, it's not quite as good as a frenzy charge. Nice night. Oh, Nightblade maybe? Making me elusive? Yeah, it's my auto cast on Nightblade. It's messing with my numbers. But anyway, you can use that belt right there. That's pretty good. There's other belts you can use as well that are pretty bad. Mage Blood, you know. But if you rock a Mage Blood instead of this, you're using all the Affliction charges. But if you're going for more like a physical hit build, you can drop that. And then you can also use, in that instance, you can use a different pair of boots. Because you don't really need the endurance and the power. You use a different pair of boots. Anywho, that's pretty much all you need. And you can replace these with other stuff because these are price. These are great buy early on. I'm gonna do that from here on out. I'm gonna buy these rings as soon as. Oh my god. I made so much on buying these rings. I made so much. I bought these rings for 35 divine for one and 40 divine for the other. Holy value. I could sell these bad boys and be rich as fuck. Rich as fuck. Let's add the resistances. Oh my lord. Life. Oh dear lord. So rich. So rich. And it still got recoup. Let's see what this ring is. Maybe I'm running like mirror tier gear and I don't even realize. Oh, he got that crit multi. That's a good ass fucking ring. Plus 6% strength. That's a good ass ring. Mine ain't no 290 div, but it is pretty good. Alright. I will check you guys later.